Hello, this is Mr. Staleman, the creator of Inscribed Heartstealer, and this is the second video on the series where I play through the game and attempt to get to day 7 of Inscribed Heartstealer. So right now, I realized while recording the last session that I do not have a round tracker, and I purposefully left this template without the round tracker so that I can show how one would go about adding a round tracker within the playingcards.io template. We would go over here to edit table, and then when we go down to edit table, we have the ability to add a widget. Our widget here would be the round tracker. We can move our widget over here where we would keep track of our rounds, and then from there our rounds start at 1 and they could go for theoretically as long as we want. So our maximum value over here right now is 1000, and then from there we can increase the size of the round tracker so that we can look at it and have it available, know what round we are in at all times. So from there, we click back, we click finish, and we can see that we have a nice big round tracker available for us to use while going through the game. So where we last left our warden, Rajan, they had successfully gone through an encounter in 1J here, and now that they've finished this encounter, we were going to go and continue on to day 3. So we are going to use our marker here, and we are going to cross off that day 2 is done. And we are trying to get closer to our town here, so we're going to go from 1J to 1K. D3. Now D3 is important, because D3 is where we hit our first story scenario. Now if we go to our sheet here, we can go all the way down to our story sequences section, third of nets, and we can see that the trigger condition occurs during the night scenario, step K. So we do not have to worry about this third of nets story sequence happening just yet. So we are going to go back to our reference sheet. We are going to go through our steps. We have marked the calendar successfully. We have reset any of our equipment. We have managed our equipment, which means that we are good on that department. We have moved to a different tile, and now we are determining the weather for the coast. So rolling the coastal weather, it's a 3. We have a dense fog. So I'm gonna put a -1 card draw right now, because dense fog provides us with -1 card draw, and we cannot escape from a combat encounter if we were to draw a combat encounter right now. Now we are going to determine our scenario, and our scenario is a 2, which means that we do not experience a scenario at this point in time. Nothing happens. We would increase our scenario roll by 1 the following day. So nothing happens during the day. At night, we experience our story sequence. So we would go through, we would eat food. We don't need to eat any food right now. And now during step K, we're determining our night scenario. We do not at this point in time. We simply enter into our story sequence. Third of nets, heart to heart. You set up camp away from the elements and eat in silence. How long you have before rest overtakes you is indeterminable. It is all you can do to keep yourself from running back out into the world. Each passing day is a day without your heart, a day you lose a little more of yourself, a day that thing becomes more like them. Now the icons here would indicate which of the character origin excerpts you would read. So in this case, I'm reading the warden's icon character excerpt because my character is a warden. The way you felt when you made your first trek beyond Olgar's stand, and the way they made you feel upon your safe return. You shut your eyes to keep them close. You shut your eyes as tight as your hold of them. You sink into a deep sleep. There, in the black, stood the face of your regrets, familiar, unrecognizable, detestable. You are at odds with yourself, Inscribed. You wish to take back what was freely given. The Heartstealer whispered to you in the voice of your dearly departed. You can have what you claim to desire. This is what it costs. It pleaded with you. This is not what you wanted. It knew quite well this was not what dwelled in your heart, not how you wanted them to return. The creature sighed. If you so wish to continue this endeavor for vengeance, I won't stop you from seeking me out. It grew placid, face blank. It will not change how our story will end. You may now experience night encounters. So, this is the first official story sequence to occur, and it introduces us to the Heartstealer, and the Heartstealer's interactions with us will become a prominent gameplay component for the rest of the campaign as we learn our relationship to it, its relationship to us, its relationship to the world, and our relationship to the world. The game is set up so that any time that you are playing it, from one campaign to another, you are getting different facets of the world as you move from one tile to another. So we will go back to our map here. We have finished with day 3. There's nothing else for us to do. We rest. We can cross off. We can cross this off right there. Day 3 is done. And now day 4. We're gonna go up here for day 4. Oop. Oh, let me D4. And now with D4, I'm going to use my reference sheet. I've gone through all of this. I'm going to determine the weather. The weather is a 3. Again, dense fog. We keep the card draw as it is. And our scenario is going to be a 4, goes up to 5 because of yesterday's event. And a 5 is that we draw an experience from the deck of fates. We shuffle our deck of fates and we draw. And we drew a 10 of hearts, a red 10. We go over to our character sheet. Have we experienced the 10 before in the coast? We have not. So we're going to mark it down, and then we're going to go to the coast encounter section and see what the red 10 has in store for us. So we are going to go to our encounters and read red 10. You are stopped by a false shepherd and its flock. Join our flock, wayward kin, and embrace this world as your pasture. You get the impression that they're not willing to take no for an answer. So we must defeat the hollowed kin before the false shepherd is slain, and when we do so, we will gain 1 faded thread, and we will gain the false shepherd's light lantern. If we use Control F and simply look up false shepherd's lantern, in this case, we would be recovering 1 HP when a non-summoned monster is slain, and we deal X harm equal to the number of slain enemies in this combat with our active action of the False Shepherd's Lantern. Considering that my Warden does not currently have a lantern available, that would be very useful. It would be an additional piece of equipment that I could use. And if I can upgrade it, that would mean that it would be a 0 cost piece of equipment that would then let me take advantage of the 5, the flurry of blows that I was building up over here. So if I remembered correctly, there was a card that I added to my deck that I failed to add here, and that would be the 10 of spades. There we go. And now we set up our combat encounter proper. So we are fighting against 4 Hallowed Kin and 1 False Shepherd. We go to our monster library. We go down to our False Shepherd and our Hallowed Kin. The False Shepherd is first in our combat list. They have 13 health, and the Hallowed Kin each have 5 health. So this is going to be a pretty dangerous encounter, all things considered. I have 0 block right now. The False Shepherd is going to roll. They roll a 2. They are going to be providing 1 block to all of their allies, and they are going to be gaining 1 block for themselves. The Hallowed Kin are doing... This one's doing 1 damage, this one's doing 2, or the rest of them are doing 2. So it's going to be a total of 7 damage that is going to be suffered this round. I'm going to shuffle. I only have 1 card that I can draw because of the presence of the dense fog. So I'm going to draw that 1 card, and that 1 card is my 5 of Hearts. 5 of Hearts, for those that did not watch the last episode, the 5 of Hearts is our Flurry of Blows, which is upgraded. We can deal 5 harm, and we would immediately dispatch one of these enemies. So what I am going to do is I am first going to acquire my block. My block is going to be acquired from my shield, the Moonlight Shield, and I'm going to gain Faith and Fortitude, Faith plus Fortitude block. So I'm going to add my Fortitude, which is a 3, my Faith, which is a 2, for a total of 5 block. And then from there, I'm going to use my 5 of Hearts, and I'm going to kill this target here. They're going to die. They're going to roll for their passive action, and they succeeded, sadly. So that means I'm taking 2 points of harm. My block goes down to 3. The harm that I'm going to suffer is 5. And then the False Shepherd's ability is that when an ally is slain, they summon a spirit. Spirit is located right up here, and they're going to be doing 1 harm at the end of the round. I roll for the spirit, and the spirit is going to be doing 2 harm, applying 1 weak, and applying 1 bind. But that doesn't need to be something that I have to deal with because of my sound body or sound mind accessory, which allows me to use a basic harm or a basic harm and a basic block action for 1 less energy. So I'm going to use my basic harm action and hit it for 1 damage. So it is going to die and I don't have to worry about it. And then I'm going to use my basic block action to protect me for 1 more block. And from there, I have 0 energy. My mulligan's at 2. There is nothing else that I can do. Wait, hold on. I do have something else that I can do. I have my Warden's Dagger, which is a 0 cost weapon. So I'm going to use it, even if it's 1 damage against the enemy. I'm going to use it against one of the enemies. And then from there, it's going to whittle it down for 1 HP. The enemy is now going to go. So the Shepherd applies block to itself and then all of its allies. This is going to deal 1 harm. There's block remaining. I'm going to deal 2 faith against it because of my shield. This is going to be dealing 2 block or 2 harm against me. The block is still there. It's going to take 2 harm. So now it's at a 2. And then this is going to hit me for 2. I don't have any block remaining, so I lose 1 point of health, and then it doesn't take any harm because I didn't have any block available. So that would be the end of round 1. Move to a new round. Everyone rolls again. And then I draw a new card. So this is going to be a 3. It's dealing 2 harm. This is dealing 2 harm. This is dealing 1 harm. So it's going to be the same number with 5 harm being dealt. and the shepherd is going to be applying 3 block and 3 block to itself and 3 block to all allies. I have my 10 of spades, which was the new card that I added last episode, and the card here is going to be Thundering Roar. So at the start of each round, I would be reducing the harm dealt by all enemies by 1. So I would not be gaining the benefits of using this just yet. It would start at the next turn, where all of the harm would be reduced by 1 by these enemies. So that means that I would have 0 block. And right now, I do not feel like that is a smart idea, because I really would like to dispatch all of these enemies as best as I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to employ my mulligan. I'm going to discard this card right now, and I'm going to draw 1 card and hope that it is either a block card, the Thorns, or that it is an attack card with the opener. Well, no, because if I use the opener, then that means that I don't have the ability to block. So I might just want the Thorns here. And I got the opener. So in this case, I can potentially employ the mulligan in order to draw the Thorns, but I want to save my mulligan for our card reward if we can finagle it. So I'm going to spend my 1 energy to block for 5, and then I'm going to use my basic block to block for 6, and then I'm going to use my dagger to hit this target for 1, and I'm going to use my basic block action to hit this target. Oh wait, they have block, so that's going to be 0 block, and then I'm going to use my basic attack to hit this thing for 2. Yes. So in this order, I have no more energy. I have nothing else that I can employ to use. I have 6 block right now, so the enemies are going to go. This is going to provide 3 block. The current block is there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then this is going to hit for 2. It's going to take 2 harm. The block is at 1. This is going to deal 2. There's block remaining. It takes 2, but it doesn't hit anything. And then this is going to hit for 1. This has 2 block. So from there, the state of affairs is that I'm not doing any harm to them. They're not doing any harm to me. We move on to round 3. Round 3 here, they're going to roll. This is going to be doing 1 harm, and 2 harm. So 4 harm total. And this is finally going to be doing harm against us, right? Yes, deal 1 harm and increase the rolled die of all allies by 1 next turn. So this is going to ramp up the amount of harm that we are going to be suffering. So we want to do our best to take it down. We have our 10 of clubs here. 10 of clubs provides us with Thorns. So we would gain 2 block and gain 1 Thorns. We don't have any block right now. This is going to deal 1 harm. This is dealing 1 harm, and we'll do the math in just a moment. I'm going to lose 1 energy. I'm going to play my Prickly Protection. So now I have 1 Thorn on my character. Now if I'm playing on here, I can typically use my reference sheet to apply my buffs and my debuffs and keep track of everything here, or I can just use it on my character sheet up above, right? I will write down right here 1 Thorns. As the downside of using something like this is that I don't have a tracker available for all of the different buffs and debuffs that I have on my character. I gain 2 block from this. I'm going to gain 1 additional block from my basic block action. I'm going to use my dagger to bring this block to 0, and then I'm going to use my block or my dagger to hit this target to 1, and then the enemy is going to go, as I don't have anything else that I can do here. This enemy is going to hit me for 1. I still have block remaining. It's going to take 3 damage, and then its block is going to disappear. This is going to hit me for 1. It is going to die as a result, turning into a spirit that will perform its action next turn. This is going to hit me for 2. I have no block remaining, but it's going to take 1 harm. And then this is going to hit me for 1, and I have no block to protect me, so it is just going to hit me, and it's going to take damage, 1 point of damage, but it was blocked. All of the block disappears at the end of the round, and this thing is going to increase the die of all of these characters by 1. So it goes, and it's going to roll a 6. This is going to go into a 2. Oh, that's nothing. This is going to be a 4, and this is going to be a 5. So I'm going to flip the stack, and I'm going to shuffle, and then I'm going to draw. So I rolled my opener again. I could, considering that this is going to be dealing 3 harm, this is dealing 3 harm, and this is dealing 2 harm. So I'm taking 8 here, and then this is going to be dealing a total of 2 harm as well. What I can do is I can use my dagger to kill the spirit. The spirit is slain. I can use my basic attack to attack this creature, and then that'll be the 1. It has 1 health left. I have 1 thorn, so when it hits me, it will die. And then I can use my opener on this creature. It will die. I lose my remaining energy. It is going to turn... Oh, first I roll for its slaying effect. I'm safe, and I just realized that I didn't roll the slaying effect for the other one. I would have been safe then too. So now it's dispatched, which turns it into a spirit. And the spirit is going to perform a 6, so dealing 2 harm, 1 weak and 1 vulnerable. No, 1 weak and 1 bind, which would lower my draw by 1, which would mean I wouldn't draw any cards next turn. That's rough. But that's how the cookie crumbles. So the false shepherd is going to hit me for 2 harm. So I'm going to take 2 harm. Oh, wait. I can put 1 block on myself. So I'm going to take 1 harm. And then it's going to suffer 1 point of damage from my thorns. This is going to deal 2 harm to me. And then it is going to die. When it is slain, it is going to roll its effect. It doesn't explode. It turns into a spirit. And then the spirit will do whatever the spirit's going to do next turn. And then this spirit is going to go and hit me for 2 harm, and it's going to apply 1 weak and 1 bind. And then at the end of the round, it's going to deal an additional harm. So, wait, no, it won't, because it dies when it hits me. I'm safe. It applied its bind, so I do not have access to the card, but by this point I do not think that I will need it. This is going to hit for 1 point of damage. This is going to be hitting for 1 point of damage. I'm going to use my basic attack to kill it. So now the spirit has been slain, And then I'm going to use my energy to give myself 5 block, give myself an additional block for fun. And then I'm going to hit it with a dagger for 1. It is at 11. It's going to hit me. It's going to take faith, harm, goes down to 9, and then it takes an additional harm from the thorn. It's down to 8. And from here, I think that we are in a smooth sailing position. I draw my 5 of hearts, so my flurry of blows is available. Between the flurry of blows, which is going to deal 5 harm on this round, it's going to be at a 3. I still have energy left. I'm going to use my basic block setup. I'm going to hit it with a dagger and my basic attack. It's going to hit me for 2. I am going to block against it in its entirety. It's going to hit me and then die to the thorns and the moonlight shield. And that was the end of that encounter. As you can see here, what my character is sorely missing at this point in time is a sort of consistent damaging force that can dispatch multiple enemies at once. But luckily, from what we remember of our encounter bonus reward, is that if we defeated all of the hallowed kin before the false shepherd is slain, we would get all of this. We would get the faded thread item, and we would gain the false shepherd's lantern. So we are going to go through our order of operations. So we gain 1d6 per monster slain. Summon monsters do not provide these bonuses, so none of the spirits that we have slain inside of the encounter are going to count towards this total number of money that we are acquiring here. So we killed the necromancer, or not the necromancer, the false shepherd for 2, 2, 5, 5, 4. So 5 plus 5, 10, 10 plus 4, 14, 16, 18, media luna. So 18 plus 18 is 36. We can erase this little note here, and then we are going to look at their monster rewards. So the monster rewards provided by the false shepherd and the hallowed kin are as follows. They are going to be, for the hallowed kin, they're going to be providing media luna, and for the false shepherd, it's going to be providing the shepherd's wafer. Shepherd's wafer is a food. I'm going to add it onto my food section. Shepherd's wafer. And then the hallowed kin are going to roll for their additional media luna that they're dropping. So that's going to be 12, 15 total. That's going to be 51 media luna that we have on ourselves. We are going to acquire the faded thread, and then we are going to acquire the lantern, which I'm immediately equipping, as it is a source of damage that we have for the future. And it is directly proportional to the amount of enemies that we slay in an encounter. And the slain enemies do include summoned creatures. So false shepherd's light, which is light lantern. I'm gonna have to make a correction on that. And go down here to our acquisition section, and that is going to be the false shepherd's lantern. I'm going to copy this here. It's going to allow us to recover a lot of HP too, which is super important considering that we need to recover a lot of our HP as damage is consistent from day to day. If I rest right now, I'm only recovering 3 HP, and the next encounter that I would fight in, I would only have 10 instead of the maximum 15 that I have shown here. So I'm going to put that information there. And then the cost is going to be a 1 right now. I want it to be 0 at some point. And then from there, we continue onward. Now, I am going to continue forward. We finish this. We are now at dusk. I'm going to eat a ration. A ration is going to heal me for 1 point of harm. So I'm gonna lose a ration, gain 8 health. I just want to be topped up a tiny bit, even if it's 1 point extra. And then we are going to get our first night scenario. Now, the night scenario is very similar to the regular scenario in that we are going to roll. Oh, I completely forgot. There is one more thing that we missed within our reward reminders. We got our bonus rewards, we got our monster rewards, and we got our Media Luna, but we forgot to choose to remember, reinforce, or regret. And I am sorely in need of additional cards for this deck. So I'm going to draw, and I drew the 6 of spades and the 9 of hearts. If I look at my Warden action book here, the 6 of spades would double all of my mastery effects until the end of my turn. I don't have any mastery effects that I'm employing right now, so this would effectively be a dead card. I do not want that. The 9 of hearts would be fantastic if I had the energy to play it. That costs 2 energy. I would only be dealing 1 harm, and when I return 1 card from the discard pile to my hand, if I'm returning a combo, or if I'm returning a black card, I would combo 1 and use my dagger again. But all of that would require me to have 2 energy, and I just don't have the energy for this. So the mulligan that I saved is going to come in handy. I'm going to spend that last mulligan instead of saving it for the combat encounter potentially in the night scenario. I'm going to flip this, put it back, shuffle, and then I'm going to be stuck with whatever 2 cards are going to come out of here. So that's a 5 of spades or a 6 of diamonds. The 5 of spades is a quick swap, which changes my current main hand and offhand, and we regain action uses for the new equipment. This is useful if I had more equipment to use, and I do not at this point in time. It's a dead card. 6 of diamonds is what I'm going for, which is Cleave. Deal X plus Y harm. I'd be dealing 4 harm. It costs 1 energy, and I am sorely in need of additional weapons, additional attacks to do. And if I acquire a sword or an axe, I can target more enemies with this attack. So that's a no-brainer. I'm adding it to my action stack. So as we were going on with our night scenarios are very similar to the regular scenario. It's just at night, and we roll on a different table. So we are going to roll here. We rolled a 4. We are drawing an experience from the deck of fates. Unlike the drawing for the biomes, so the coast, the plains, the swamp, or the forest, the drawing of the deck of fates correlates to a specific event within the night scenario, so they are split between their suits. So if I draw a heart, it is going to refer to like the 10 of hearts as opposed to a red 10. I'm going to shuffle the deck of fates, and hopefully we get a black card. Black cards tend to be beneficial to the player. Red cards tend to not be beneficial to the player. And I got a black. Good. I got a 6 of clubs. If we go to the section here, we go to black clubs. The 6 of clubs is the vengeful spirit. At night comes the whispers of a wraith. It talks of its vengeance against the gnarled queen and her sisters, and of a quest after the death of a daughter. Its form twists in knots before reforming once more. It does not appear hostile and is lucid enough to offer its assistance. So we do not have the full moon present, so we do not have access to this option. The only option that we have access to is the intermittent apparition. So, intermittent apparition, the spirit materializes sporadically across the night, providing vague gestures and directions for where you want to go. So roll 1d6 to determine the location of the Heartstealer's lair. I'm going to roll, and we know for a fact that the Heartstealer's lair is located in the coast. This is big news. This event is one of very few events in the entire game that provides you with the information on where to find the Heartstealer. And in this campaign, the Heartstealer is located in the coast lair. So, what does that mean exactly? First and foremost, that will mean that when we acquire the coastal lair, or information about where to locate the coastal lair in the game, when we go to that lair, instead of experiencing the dungeon for that biome, we would instead experience the lair of the Heartstealer, which is its own separate dungeon. This also means that the other 3 dungeons are confirmed to be dungeons specific to the biome. So the plains is always going to be the plains biome, or the plains lair. The swamps are going to have the swamp lair. Forest is going to have the forest lair. Those will not change. The Heartstealer will not move in one direction to another. So we now have a game plan where as soon as we enter enough coastal spaces, we could potentially acquire the biome lair event and discover where the Heartstealer dwells on our map. So I'm gonna mark our 6 of diamonds here. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Mr. Staleman, the creator of Inscribed Heartstealer. I hope that this second gameplay video has shown a little bit more of the tactical fidelity that comes with the game, and now let's showcase the night scenario. As you can see, the game has a lot of content to offer. It is a very dense and rich experience for you to play, and there are a ton of events and variables and conditions that you can experience and dive into when you are playing through the game. I'm going to recover and rest for Rajan here. I am going to increase their health by 3. They're going to have 11 health when they enter into town, and hopefully we can get to day 7 without anything bad happening to them. This has been Mr. Staleman. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful night.